Listen, Jack, I'm honored, and it's just a great pleasure to be doing business with you again.
Oh, that's great. Remember we met in Ottawa briefly that day?
That's right.
And then we had you on once before, and here I am actually on bloody pins and needles tonight about what the hell I'm going to ask you, because you've been asked every bloody question in the world already. So you'll forgive me if I go over some of the old ground a bit.
No problem.
2 minutes till we go on.
Okay.
And we're going to use a rundown tonight. Yes, we're using the rundown, aren't we? God, imagine me being nervous of all bloody people.
Makes two of us.
Ah, come off it.
It's true.
Come off it. I limped into the office today thinking, oh, Jesus. And all I'm drinking's coffee.
Well, that's a good sign.
But I'm still smoking.
Well, we'll have to get you out on the road, Jack, and you'll spend a day out there in the cycle with us, and we'll smarten you up. We'll get Mike on the nutrition. We'll get Amanda on the exercise program, and you'll be as good as new.
Yeah, well, give me hell for smoking while you're on the air.
Okay.
You know, if you think about it.
Sure.
Yeah. Man, I'm only 25 pounds overweight. That's not too bad. Is it?
No, that's pretty good.
25 pounds, and I'm only 4'6". In fact, I'm terrible. I'm an unregenerate, unrecalcitrant slob.
I wouldn't say that, Jack.
Please be aware, make sure at no time to shut off 12:40.
I will make sure at no time do I cut off Rick's feed. Now, what happens when we take the other calls? Does that stay open?
Yes, always leave that.
That always leaves open, because I can put 2 calls on at the air at once, can't I? Oh, my God.
So we're half an hour, Jack, are we? Or?
About 20 minutes.
20 minutes, okay.
1 segment with me, 1 commercial break, and 1 segment with calls.
Okay.
And you should be able to hear the calls all right.
15 away, Jack.
Okay, 15 seconds there.
Good evening. A very special interview with a very special Canadian who is coming home for the most massive celebration and demonstrations ever seen in the city of Vancouver. You can guess who he is, but here's Ted with the rundown.
But first, live from Kamloops and almost finished his round-the-world odyssey to raise money and awareness for spinal cord research, Rick Hansen is up first with Webster.
And Rick, it's no exaggeration to say that I have interviewed every VIP that has passed this way in the past 40 years. But I've never been so nervous as I am tonight, because what am I going to say to you? You're magnificent, you're wonderful, you're fantastic, terrific. Here's a question. How did you do it?
Well, I don't know, Jack. Sometimes I'm asking myself the same question. First of all, I'd like to say it's great talking to you again, as it always is. And I'm really looking forward to coming back home. But what's really kept me going to get this far and to get through all the difficult times is to strongly believe in the dream, and then, of course, be willing to commit my whole life to achieve the dream. And then, you know, have the great team of people behind me, as you've seen, and that team has grown day by day, kilometer by kilometer, throughout the last 2 years.
You know, 20 years ago, we used to think, oh, isn't that wonderful, when we'd see a basketball team playing some kind of dodgeball or basketball out of wheelchairs, and we thought, oh, that's fantastic, some activity. What have you done for the awareness of handicapped athletes?
Well, I don't know. I really hope that as a result of the tour, we've created a lot of awareness about disabled persons in general. I think we're challenging people to take a second look at the term disability and reevaluate their definition of it. I hope that we're also challenging people to realize that what we should be focusing on is ability, and the fact that someone may have a physical setback in their life shouldn't dictate whether we perceive them as an individual or not. People are people, whether they have a physical disability or not.
What you have proven, though, and really I mean this too, is that there's nothing an individual cannot do within set and outside limits once he sets his or her mind to it. Is that not correct?
I totally agree with that. I think that if you really believe in something and you're willing to persevere and commit yourself to it, you'd be surprised at the great levels of achievement you can rise to. I think what really counts, though, is that we strive to reach our full potential in life, and hopes and dreams are all relative, and each are equally important. And I think that that's really what life's all about. And I think, too, that you mentioned about disabled athletes, and before, a lot of people perceive disabled athletes as, my, isn't that marvelous? It's rehabilitation, it's recreation. We'd like to think that people are now thinking about disabled athletes as athletes first, and the fact that disabled is only a matter of fact.
I don't want to sadden you in any way, shape, or form, but I think that you have given, of course, countless thousands of disabled people the highest form of inspiration. But would it be fair to ask you to go back to those days when you were 15 or so, when you were absolutely at your lowest ebb, when you thought, this is the end, here I am stuck, here I am, I can't do anything. Was there a spark that started you off on your incredible movement to this magnificent success?
I've been very fortunate throughout my life. First of all, before my injury, athletics taught me to deal with setbacks, and it taught me to set goals and to continue to strive forward to overcome adversity. It taught me also how to adapt to the situations at hand. It couldn't in any way prepare me for what I was about to encounter after my accident in June of '73. But I was very fortunate. I had a good family and friends behind me all the way. I also had a physical education instructor. His name was Bob Redford. He encouraged me along the way to keep reaching for something that was in my heart, and that was my athletics, to realize that just because I had a disability didn't mean I couldn't continue to strive towards expressing myself athletically. I also was very fortunate to meet an individual from Vancouver, and he's been a great force in my life right up until this very moment, and that's Stan Strong. And not too many people know about Stan, but he's an incredible individual. He's contributed and inspired a lot of people like me to get off your butt, so to speak, and back out into life again.
Now, to come to your trip across Canada, one of the routine repertorial questions. How do you manage to keep the concentration necessary and the physical will to keep moving all the time in some of the horrendous conditions you've encountered?
Well, I think that we've been tested long before we reached Canada. We really encountered a lot of difficulties in the early phases of the tour that made things almost seem insurmountable. Times when it was blowing hard, it was cold, it was wet, I was injured. There was thousands of miles of nowhere and no one around. We were wondering whether we were having an impact or not. And yet, I think the common belief in the dream, realizing that we knew what we wanted to accomplish, we were going to continue to strive towards accomplishing that regardless of the circumstances. And we weren't going to come away from this project with anything other than knowing that we'd given it everything we could.
Right. With Amanda, of course, and your support team, you got your daily attentions. But can I ask you, how are you feeling today when you're within, how many miles? 1,200 miles of Oak Ridge Shopping Centre on May the 22nd and 23rd? 22nd.
Today, I'm feeling fantastic, Jack. I probably feel the best I've felt since I left on this journey. Physically, I've had a chance to recover from a lot of the injuries I had throughout the early part of the tour because winter was kind to us, as you know. And Amanda's been taking fantastic care of those injuries and monitoring them daily. I've also had a chance now to feel the momentum and excitement of home. Since we've come back into British Columbia, I didn't think it was possible, but the people have responded even at a greater level. I mean, the percentage of the people out in the streets and responding is incredible, and I can feel home. I feel like I am home in some ways, but yet Vancouver is not that far away now.
Now, wait till you see the crowds at BC Stadium on the 23rd of May. That's going to be quite an occasion, I can tell you. Now, another repertorial question. You've had to modify and adjust and change wheelchairs. How many wheelchairs? We've
gone through at least 8 wheelchairs. One we destroyed, and the others have evolved along the way for various purposes and functions.
Last time I was talking to you, you were telling me about your thermostatically controlled indicators to make sure you didn't get frostbite when you couldn't feel it. Did they all work all the time?
Yes, we had a good chance to test them out in the field, and they worked fantastically. And I think that equipment is going to go a long way to help other people in the future and stimulate new research. So it did the job. All the clothing and the equipment that we designed for winter, it worked just perfectly. And I got to say great things about the people that organized that back in Vancouver.
Can I make a confession to you?
What's that?
The day you started from Oak Ridge,
yeah,
I was going to come, and then I thought, you know, he can't possibly do it. I didn't come. So will you please accept my humble and sincere apologies for not recognizing the magnificent determination of the Hansen man, the man in motion.
Well, Jack, it doesn't matter really whether you're there in the beginning. The fact is you're there now, and that's really what counts. And,
Well, British Columbia is ablaze with admiration, and not that you need any comfort, admiration and respect for what you've done. Now, go on.
I was going to say, what's this I hear about, you know, we're going to be home in May 22nd on a Friday, but I hear that you're not sticking around for us. You're off the air.
Well, my program will be off there, but I think I'll be sticking around for you on May 22nd, 23rd, and I'll be up to get your autograph with everybody else.
Maybe we'll get you to come up to the road here, Jack, and we'll put you on a bike and we'll do a special interview up here or something.
But you'd make me stop smoking.
Yeah, listen, we've got to get you to stop smoking, and Amanda will put out a good training program for you.
And you'll
then
make
you'll
me
come out
lose.
and we'll put you out on the bike, and you'll have a great day. And
I mean, I'm only
Good as new.
I'm only 4 feet 6 and weigh 260 pounds. She's going to have to take at least 20 pounds off me.
she can do it, believe me.
Look, my undying admiration. And if you'll just hold still with us for a moment, we'll take a break, and then we're going to take calls to Rick Hansen, the man in motion, in Kamloops, from you. Short, sharp comments or questions after the break. Go ahead to Rick Hansen.
Yes, good evening, Jack. Good evening, Rick. I think you might know who this is. It's Wally. I said goodbye to you when you left, and I'm just saying hello to you, and you did a terrific job, boy.
Well, thanks very
I'm
much.
very pleased to see that you made the trip, and I hope you're not in too much pain.
No, I'm definitely not, and I really appreciate you being there in the beginning, and we look forward to seeing you there when we get back.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, please.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Rick.
Hi.
My name's Stephen Pollock, and I suffered from spinal cord injury this summer. And I just wanted to let you know that Brian Rhodes was up to see me at GS Strong to test out your McDonald's sensory, the padding for your legs to make sure that it fit you all right before sending it out east for you. And I just want to tell you how looking forward I am to see you when you get back into
Well,
town.
thanks a lot for your contribution, Stephen. I look forward to seeing you, too.
Thank you.
Keep on rolling, man.
Go ahead, please.
Hi, Rick. I just would like to say good luck to you.
Well, thanks very much.
Okay.
This is like having Michael J. Fox on. By the way, did you work with Michael Fox on the telephone one day?
Yes, I did. He's a great guy, Jack, and you know, I had a chance to meet him in New York as we went up the East Coast, and I can't say enough about him. We should all be proud of him in British Columbia and in Canada.
Good.
He's a great ambassador.
Go ahead, please.
Hi, Rick. I just wanted to know how you felt or how you control your feelings now that you're back home in your own province. How do you keep your excitement back from being so close to home?
Well, you know, coming back into British Columbia, it is a great feeling. It's overwhelming, but to be home amongst family and friends and to be so close to the end, I also have to really realize, though, that we have to keep to the same principles and fundamentals that have gotten us this far, and that's really what the tour is all about: staying focused and working, you know, day to day, realizing that the end is near, but there's still a lot of work in between.
Thanks very much. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Rick. Congratulations on what you've done. But based on what you've accomplished, don't you feel that the word disabled is outdated or the wrong word to use now? Can you think of a better word that the public should be using?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up there. And
No, she raised an interesting point. She felt that the word disabled, in view of your performance, is outdated. And should there be another word?
I think you're right. The term disabled maybe should be reevaluated. Maybe we should all think about something a little different. I wonder if we have to really sit down and label people anyway.
Good, thank you. Go ahead, please.
Rick, my sincere congratulations, first of all. When you get back, are you and your crew not going to find it somewhat anticlimactic? What are you going to do to come off this incredible high that you must have been on for these 2 years?
That's a very good question, and it's something we have to be very, very concerned about. What we'll be doing is setting goals, just as we have throughout the rest of my life, and we have to prepare once we're home for an extended rest period, because physically and emotionally it has been a very difficult feat, and it's something we have to be careful to recover from. The potential is to get caught into this sweep of momentum and going around the country and doing a lot of things afterwards. But I've got to get my life back in order. I've got to get my feet back on the ground, rested. Then I'm looking forward to my marriage in October with Amanda. That'll be the priority of my life. And I'm looking also forward to resuming my athletic career and my profession in physical education. Those are important to me, and there are a lot of other things that may not seem significant to a lot of people on a social sense, but personally they're very important, and it's something that Rick Hansen's got to do as an individual before he's happy.
I can make one small prediction.
What's that?
You won't be traveling much when you come back for your rest, recuperation, and your marriage and honeymoon.
Good prediction.
Go ahead, please.
Rick Hansen, congratulations, you're an inspiration. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was short enough. Go ahead, please.
Congratulations, Rick. You've done a fantastic job.
Did you hear that?
I'm sorry, that was breaking up again.
You've done a fantastic job, she said, a young woman's voice.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Congratulations, Rick. I just wanted to know, we know the physical challenge you faced, and I'm sure you've had emotional challenges as well. Which would you say has taken the toll on you the most?
I cut it up to the emotional challenge.
Physical challenge, emotional challenge, which has been the bigger of the two challenges?
I think you know, life is full of challenges and setbacks, and I think that the emotional battle has always been the most difficult. You know, physically, one can persevere and endure in a mechanical sense, but I think that you know, you have to deal with yourself as an individual, the emotions, the thoughts, the feelings, and the circumstances that you encounter on a daily basis, and that's really what the tour has all been about for me. The struggle has been within myself, and I think there's a real key to that, and I think it can be applied to other people as well.
The children along the route must have been a great inspiration, especially those children who are, I've got to use the word disabled, or in a wheelchair.
Well, I think you're right, Jack.
And lost the line. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Rick. It's Randy Brown calling here.
Hey, Randy. How you doing?
Going? Listen, you know, I've been following you for 2 years, and I just want you to know I'm really happy you're back, and I'm going to be looking forward to seeing you down at BC Place.
Thanks, Randy.
Okay.
Jack, this is one of the first financial supporters of the entire tour. It's great to hear you, Randy, and
Rick.
we'll see you soon.
Take care.
By the way, you're up to $8.8 million today in your $10 million target, so you're going to make it easy, or you're not.
Well, it looks pretty encouraging. We're working hard to that, but I think too, Jack, we have to keep this in perspective and make sure that we understand that I don't want the success of the tour to be judged merely by the dollars and cents that are in the bank. We have to go beyond that. The awareness is much more important, I think.
The awareness is much more important, but who knows what the money for research might achieve, because as you and I both know, there is very encouraging research being experimented with now on the nerve connections in the back.
That's right, and you know, the funds will be going to help spinal cord injured persons, and the interest will be spent forever. So that's going to make great progress, you know, for a very long time. It'll be a permanent tribute.
Thank you very much. By the way, what did you eat mostly on this?
Well,
what was your diet? Tell me your diet.
Mike keeps me well fed. There's nothing magic about my diet. We monitor it fairly closely. The caloric intake is around 3,500 calories per day. And we monitor the percent carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, fluid intake, vitamins and minerals, and of course I weigh myself pretty well every morning. So those things are important, but you know, to say that we go to a health food store and buy special foods is, you know, that's not the case. We just try to eat good, reasonable foods. Occasionally,
compare your condition. Compare your condition now to when you started. Your physical condition and your feeling of well-being.
My feeling of well-being, physical condition now is better than when I started, and that's not a word of a lie, because I just feel I feel very, very good. A lot of people have been concerned about me, and rightfully so. So have I, and so has the crew. But we've come a long way in the last 8 months, and we've made steady progress, and I just feel very good at this point. You know, you wonder why I've got such a big cook, Jack.
Yeah.
And that's because you know, Mike's got to keep me in line once in a while. Every once in a while, I like to get those cravings, you know, to go out and get junk food and things. So we get a big cook to keep me in line.
Well, at least, have you had any junk food today?
No, nothing today.
Nothing today. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Jack. Rick.
Hi there.
Good is not the word, man. It's incredible what you've done. You deserve a fishing trip for a week in Campbell River for the big one.
Hey, listen.
That's about it, man. Hang in there, eh?
Thanks a lot.
Go ahead, please.
Hi, Rick.
Hi there.
I want to say that I love you, and you're doing a tremendous job.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward to seeing you in Vancouver.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Rick.
Yeah.
I was in GS Strong about 4 years ago when I was in a wheelchair there from actually a head injury. But I spent my time in a wheelchair, and you and a couple other guys played basketball and show us how to play volleyball and stuff. And you probably won't remember me because, you know, you probably met so many people, but I remember you talked to me, and you're a big inspiration to me then. And God knows you're getting bigger and bigger all the time, and I can't say anything more than anyone else, so just keep on rolling.
Thanks a lot, and you too.
Bye.
Go ahead, please.
Hello, Rick.
Hi there.
Congratulations on that fantastic tour of yours. I think there are very few people have any conception of what a fantastic thing you have done. Last year, of course, we had Expo. By no manner of means is Rick Hansen second, but I think both of Expo and Rick Hansen will be on the BC map for many, many, many years to come. Good show.
Well, I'm honored you think that. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Go ahead, please.
My name is Tina. I just want to wish Rick all the best.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Rick.
Hi.
I was just wondering if I could read you a poem that I wrote for you.
Short one, yes.
Okay. Thinking not of yourself, just helping out others, reaching out to the world as sisters and brothers. Somewhere in all of us, you've touched a part that make us feel lucky we had a good start. You know not your pain, for your goal you just strive, the shining horizon and a part of our lives. Your face filled with memories, our pride in you glows. You've brought out awareness, our world unity shows. You've crossed over mountains and more than one ocean. Your cause is shown through your true man in motion.
Well, isn't
That's
that
great.
very nice?
Thank you very much.
That's a very good note on which to end the interview and the calls. Rick Hansen, see you in Vancouver. Very many thanks for being available for us today, and all the best wishes in the world from everyone in the world.
Thanks a lot, Jack, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon. Thank you. I'll be back after the break. Well, Pat Carney is the Minister for International Trade. Ms. Carney and I have worked together one way and another in newspapers, radio, television, against her, of course, because I'm always against the government. That's my role in life. And she sat down tonight and she's mad at me.
I'm really cross with you, Jack. Really cross.
Why?
Well, you told me that if I came on the show, I could get to say hi to Rick Hansen. And then once you got him on camera, you hugged it as usual, and you just wouldn't let me say hi until after the show. And then you missed the best question.
What was the best question?
The best question was when he said that he had been struggling emotionally, you know, that there was a lot of emotional challenge and he had to struggle with himself. The obvious question was that at the beginning? Was it worse at the beginning or was it worse at the end? I mean, if he ever felt that he wanted to quit, when did that happen?
Well, just because you're a former journalist, you're not entitled to nag at me.